Hi, it's Jean Brittingham at Kept in Stitches. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. And today is Tuesday. I almost forgot. So it's Tip Demo Tuesday. And I am here for a demonstration for you today on a great tip. And that was actually asked by one of the people watching my video on the week in review that just took place on Sunday, and I was showing that I got this great wooden clapper. And the question was, will you show what that wooden thing is used for? So this wooden thing is actually called a pressing clapper or a tailor's clapper. That thing is what it is called, and it is used by tailors, sewers, quilters, many uses for this. It's used as an aid in pressing. And this one happens to be a 9x9 inch square that I just got because I have been using this smaller one, which is great and I love it, but it would be nice when you are doing larger areas, instead of having to keep moving it along as you press, to have a bigger one at times that covers a bigger surface. So I'm going to show you just how I use the pressing clapper. And first of all, I want to show you that on the back of this block, we have seams that are open and we have seams going in various ways. And we also have where there are 4 seams that come together. Sometimes those can be problem areas for pressing and getting them to lie nice and flat. So that is where the clapper comes in handy, because what it does, as we apply our steam to our block and those areas to do our initial pressing, what we do then is we quickly take and put that clapper on there, which is heavy, and it's made of a nice wood, sanded very nicely and all that nice great finish. But what it does, the wood takes the moisture from that steam and heat and absorbs it, so it sets those seams nice and flat and crisp. So you just set that there, and if you want, that's the name clapper, you can actually tap it on your block as well, and that will help in there. Or you can just leave it laying there, press on it a little, and it makes all those seams then lie nice and crisp and flat, which you can see on both sides how nice and flat they are. And I have a couple other examples of where this will come in handy. And we have a quilt here that is a lot of diagonal stitching and sewing, which can sometimes be problematic. It also has small, tiny half square triangles in the block here. So again, you have a lot of thicker, where 4 sometimes, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 intersections coming together there, and it can be hard to get those to lie nice and flat. So again, you just take and you're doing your initial press to set those seams, and you can hear the steam on there. And you notice I'm not ironing, I'm pressing. I'm lifting my iron up and down. I'm not going back and forth on there. But we've got that, and then again, we can just set this on those seams, and it is going to again absorb the moisture as it is applying pressure to those seams, making them all nice, able to lay them all nice, crisp, and flat. The open seams open nice, and the other ones laying nice and crisp and flat. Another example where I find this truly is a great aid. And when you are doing very tiny pieces and piecing, which these are a little, they are 4-patch blocks, which are 1 inch. So there are a lot of tiny pieces in that. And when you look on the back of this, the way that it has to be pressed so that they all lay nicely, there's a lot pressed open and a lot of seams coming together. You also see where they are turned so that they will lay flat here, where these intersections come together, that there's this tiny little piece here, and that has a tendency to be hard to get to lie flat and everything. And that is where, again, the clapper, the pressing clapper, comes in very, very handy for those. And we also have the open, the seam that is pressed open along here, to where this has been pressed before. I actually pulled these, sorry, let me get out of the way there. I pulled these out of my stash of quilts that are waiting to be quilted to show for examples today. So you would also use this a lot of times, the smaller one, as you are pressing your individual blocks and sewing them together, so that you're getting a good pressing all throughout your piecing of your blocks, and it makes for a lot greater accuracy, which, because I have the big one now, I'm just going to take that big one, lay that down. Because I have two, I can also lay that on that seam there and be using both of them at once. So you can see that even if I had another one, that would be an advantage, but I'm very happy to have the two that I do have. So that, whoops, sorry, and you can hear that, the clapper, which, like I say, if you have, you know, a really tough area, you can, let me do that over, you can actually tamp it down, and that will also help in getting those to lie nice and crisp and flat after they are pressed, making everything lie very nicely. And another example is where you are using very, very thin strips. As you can see, these are very thin in this quilt. They are finishing at 3/4 of an inch. So you have a lot of seams, tiny, close together seams going there. So that is another time that that pressing clapper will come in very, very handy. Try to get this up in an area that you can see it better. And again, I'm just going to apply the steam in an area quickly to show you, which this particular quilt hasn't had a lot of the threads, the frayed threads, not the threads from stitching, trimmed off, and those will all be trimmed before I quilt it. But there again, that is absorbing that moisture and the heat, setting it into the fibers of the fabric, which is what makes them lay nice and crisp and flat. You just leave that there for a while, give it enough time to let it cool a little, and as you move it, you can apply the pressure, clap it down, and it will again make so that all those seams lie very nice, crisp, and flat. So I hope that answered your question on what that wooden thing is for. Which the wooden thing is a pressing clapper, a Tailor's clapper. It comes in very handy. A great tool and an aid if you don't have one, to add that as an addition to your gallery of tools and aids in your quilting stitching room. So there you have it, today's Tip Demo Tuesday and how I use the wooden clappers. Thanks very much for watching. Again, don't forget, if you are watching, hit that subscribe button, the bell, so that you'll get notifications when I drop my videos. And also, if you are interested in my Facebook group, the link for that is always in the description box. And yes, that is it for today. So thank you all for watching. Have a great week, and I will see you again soon. In the meantime, remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye.